Hello everyone. Welcome back. We've had a little bit of a break. I'm trying something a little different today. I'm going on a little earlier than scheduled just to get the old, housekeeping stuff out of the way, like all the necessary, like we did this last time. We're doing this next time. So I'm going to do it a little early. Hello. Matthias, I apologize. Matthias, hello. Will be joining us in about 10 minutes. But I wanted to get it started right now just so that we can get all that mumbo jumbo hello out of the way. Hey, what's up, Matthias? I didn't tell you I was starting early. I was going to start early just to get the stuff out of the way so we can get started right at 2 o'clock my time. Hello, everyone. Hi, I'm John. Welcome to Back to Brick. It's been a crazy day. It's going to be an even crazier day when we get diving in here with Matthias and some studio. Thank you to everyone who has put up with our rescheduling. We've had a couple, life situations happen here and there, so we've had to reschedule a couple episodes. So many thanks to Billy. Hey, Matthias. Many thanks to Billy, BN4, for being able to reschedule for Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific rather than Tuesday, because I had some stuff come up here at the end. So had to reschedule, and then we had to reschedule Kate's Brick Huntress's episode Wednesday yesterday because we had life situations come up as well, and so we're rescheduling. We're going to just be doing hers next Wednesday, and then we'll see about if we need to do a makeup episode with her. That is up to her. All right. So real quick, I just want to catch you all up to date. As of right now, I was getting confused because we missed a couple episodes, so I didn't know which way to number it. I think this is number 12 technically, but if we're going base, hello, from Nana, hello, yes, hello, welcome. Yes, so we're catching back up. Our last episode prior to Billy was Adnan, UV, and we went through a bunch more of his album making techniques, which was fantastic. Really learned a lot more about that. And we're getting ready to learn more with him come next Monday when he's going to walk us through basically building one of his album covers, which is super, super dope. So really looking forward to that. So yes, we will be making up Billy's episode. That will be on Friday. That's this coming Friday, tomorrow. And that is going to be at 4 p.m. my time, 7 p.m. Eastern. And then we continue on. We do Fleur on Friday at 4 a.m. my time, 7 a.m. Eastern. It's down there in Australia. Not sure exactly what the exact time is, but she knows. We'll be right on it. I think it's like 11 p.m. Her time. So yeah, I think it's like an 18-hour difference, something like that. Crazy stuff. And then of course we finish up week 2 with Alex on Saturday at 11:30 a.m. So that's my time once again, Pacific, and 2:30 Eastern. We'll be chatting more about the Home Alone, how it all got started, a little bit more into the process, and then also we're gonna go through a little bit of how true to his build, the build that he submitted is to the actual set. So all that good stuff coming up. Also, not sure if you folks saw, but we did announce Don't Sweat the Lego Technique Series 3 a while ago. So go check out all that information. And I've been bit by bit leaking out info on Don't Sweat the Lego Technique Series 4 that's happening. It's going to kick off at the Brick Bazaar in end of April, beginning of May, and we're going to have a bunch of really, really rad folks. I just announced today that we're going to be doing, we're going to have Tricky Bricks on board, Flynn and Richard from Tricky Bricks. They have a lot of creativity with the two of them. They use a lot of different colors, a lot of different techniques. Here, let me see. Here's one of their builds. I posted it earlier today. It's pretty phenomenal, and you'll probably let me show you a photo of them. You'll recognize them. Yeah, they're going to be on Series 4. They'll be joining on, walking us through a little bit of the friends, because it's all, Series 4 is all scene building. So we're going to focus on that, and they're going to help us do scene building. And then Aubrey from Brick Cove is also going to help out on a couple episodes. So pretty stoked on that. And there's a bunch more that I've named earlier, and we'll get into more and more of that. Actually, I can get into it at the end of the episode. So, Matthias, if you are ready to go early, we can go early. It's up to you, sir. I was just going to get all of that stuff out of the way so that we can have a concise episode, because I have booked it so tightly today that tomorrow I had to do some rescheduling because my wife's flight got in today, and I have to go pick her up out in Vancouver. And right after this, I'm going to be chatting with Caleb of Cheesy Studios. I'm sorry, Cheesy Bricks, Cheesy Studios. You might recognize him as this guy right here. I'm going to be chatting with him at 3:30 my time. Ready whenever you are. Boom. All right, I'm going to be chatting with him at 3:30. He did this gorgeous Harry Potter mock right there, and also this freaking, look at this castle. Bam. He did that guy. But yeah, you might know him from Lego Masters. He's also Cheesy Studios. He is a brilliant mock builder. He's half of the Castle Bros. We're going to be chatting at 3:30 my time. That's 6:30, Eastern time. So you figure it out in between. I think he's 5:30 his time. I think he's in. No, actually, I think he's on Pacific right now. I don't know. We'll find out. Matthias, let's get you going, sir. I will find you here. Boom. Hello. I see it, Lewis. What's up, buddy? What's up? How goes it? We're going to have our friend here. Yeah. Whoa. He's crazy. There he is. Hello, sir.
Hello. All right. Somehow my headset doesn't seem to work.
Uh-oh. Do we not have sound?
Yeah.
How are we?
Yeah, now that sounds better. How's the quality?
I think you sound fantastic, sir.
Perfect.
Yes. How are things?
Yeah, I'm stoked to be here again
Me
for
too,
the
buddy.
second episode tonight.
Yeah, what's funny is do you know Jacob Lego Woodish? Did you happen to check out the episode I had with him?
I was there for the first 15 minutes, I think.
Yeah, he was talking about. Oh, I am getting a feedback though. Did you hear that?
Hey, Rick.
Do you hear the
Lewis,
feedback?
Martin? No, not from me. For you again. We had it once when we did a test run, right?
Yeah, I don't have any feedback on my end.
It sounds good to me. What do you guys
Okay,
say
if
or
anyone
hear?
hears any feedback, let me know. Anyways,
How's the quality for everyone else?
Jacob had mentioned he learned so much from your episode that he just dove straight into studio, and he's the one that was building the Stormtrooper. He's Lego Woodish.
Yeah.
He's doing the Stormtrooper head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
He geeked out like big time after that episode. So we're making a difference, man.
I hope I can bring some interesting things again today.
Well, what do you got in store for us today?
I think I will switch my camera and then everything will be a little bit easier. We just have to try and get my monitor on the screen again. So give me one second here. So I think
Sorry,
I have
we
to
didn't get
back
to do
it up a bit.
We didn't get to do our pre-call today because I've been running around so much today that we'll see.
Okay, but I think that should be
See how it goes.
fine. I should turn it down a bit more.
Coffee.
Okay, I think that should
Hi,
be
everyone.
good.
Thanks so much for tuning into Don't Sweat the Lego Technique. I am John with Back to Brick. Please make sure you are subscribed, downloaded, and listening to the podcast. Garrett's doing some amazing stuff. He had Jeff Sanders from Brick Bending on. Oh, dude, that stuff's so cool. What's up, Andre? Anyway, sorry. Continue.
All right, yeah, I think this should be fine. I hope the image quality is good enough. I can't really tell from my phone screen, but yeah, I think we'll have to do with this.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I can see.
Perfect.
It's a little cut off, but I mean, I can see it.
Yeah, I think it should be
Is
enough. I
Lewis
have
drinking?
to resize this window a little bit. Okay, there we go.
Ooh,
That
we
should
got
be
yes.
fine. Okay, so second episode tonight. Let's take a quick look at the episode list. So last time we basically took a look at the basics. We took a look how Studio works, how the controls work, how you can build something digitally in Studio. And today we're gonna go one step further. Today the topic is from digital design to physical model. So what I want to focus on today is what you should be taking care of or taking into account when you're designing a model on your computer if you intend to build it in real life later. So yeah, what's important to make sure that the the parts are actually available and affordable, and yeah, and also some techniques. I've also got a guessing game plan, so I will be showing some things in Studio Digital Designs, and everyone can guess what they think is, so to say, wrong with them, or what probably won't work out if you try to build it in real life. And those are all real examples from my experience. So designs I made on the computer, then I ordered the parts, tried to build it, and was like, oh damn, that doesn't work like I wanted to. All right, yeah, and then
Oh, I'm
the
ready
the
whenever you are.
next
Sorry.
next two episodes are then about rendering and instruction making. But today we're focusing on digital design for building things in real life.
Awesome.
All right, should we jump right in, John?
Yeah, I'm ready whenever you are, buddy.
Same thing like last time. When there's any questions, you have to remind me, John, or you have to tell me. I won't read the chat while I am doing this. And yeah, if there's any problems with the audio or image quality, also let me know. Or if something is out of screen, out of focus, whatever.
I got you, buddy.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Okay. Then the first thing I want to talk about is part availability and affordability, because I think that's one of the most important topics. In Studio, of course, you have a lot of parts available, and you can basically use all the parts in all colors, regardless of whether those colors or those parts in those colors are actually available in real life, and regardless of the price. So when we are designing a model that we want to build in real life, of course, the first thing we want to make sure is that the parts are actually available so we can buy them. And of course, the price is also always a topic. So maybe it's time to jump right into Studio, and to back up from last time, what I already showed last time that's very helpful is when you are selecting parts here from the part inventory. What I suggest is you should usually use this option to hide unavailable colors. So currently we have the light bluish gray color selected. And if I say I want to hide unavailable colors, then what it will do in the inventory, it will only show me those bricks that are actually available in light bluish gray. So that's what we already saw last time. And then there's one more thing. For this, I will also have to resize my window a little bit now, so that everything I want to show is actually on screen, because we also want to have the color palette on the right side of the screen here, and the color validator. So this is really useful. When you have built a model, of course, it can still happen that you have used some colors that are not available. And so on the right side, you have here, you can switch between the step list and the color validator. And in this color validator, you will be seeing warnings or problems whenever you're using any bricks that are not available. I think there's more warnings that can show up here, but the most common one is definitely when you're using bricks in a color that don't exist. So for example, if I just place this brick right here in light bluish gray, of course it's available, so it's not a problem. And now we can change the color of this brick. And to change the color, I already showed you last time also that you can do it in the upper right corner in the color palette. And here again, you have the same option. You can hide the unavailable colors. So this is usually also a good thing to do. But if we don't want this, I can uncheck this, and then I have all the colors available. And yeah, okay, I chose a very common part here. So if I want to find a color that this one is not available in, let's try to take an obscure color. Maybe neon green. Yeah, and now we can see in the color validator we are getting this warning because this piece or this brick is not available in this neon green color. So I'm usually, while I'm designing, I am not on the step list here, but on the color validator. So whenever I mistakenly use a brick in an unavailable color, it will immediately show up here, and I usually realize that I did something wrong. And it also lets you click on it, and it will suggest a similar color that you can replace it with. So in this case, it says neon green is not available for this brick, but if you want, then you can take this lime color, and if I say apply, then it will change it automatically. And yeah, this might be similar enough in this case. So yeah, everyone is happy. Okay, and the other thing that's related to this, if we are now not only talking about availability but also affordability, you can also take the same menu that I just showed you, this color switching menu, and if you open this here and you re-enable the hide unavailable colors, so it only shows the colors that are actually available, then what you will get here, I'm not sure whether this is visible. Let me move the camera a little bit so now we can see it. On the right side here, you see an indication of the price range for the selected part. And so $1 sign will tell you that it's affordable, $2 signs will tell you it's a bit more expensive, and $3 signs is the more on the expensive end.
I had no idea.
Of course, you need an internet connection because it's fetching the prices from Bricklink, I think.
Right.
But if you have the internet active, then this works. And there's also a fourth option, like you can see with the sand red color here. It doesn't even show a dollar sign, it shows a minus sign. And I think this means that it's almost unavailable or so rare that it's very hard to find. So if I select this, and the next thing, when you want to know what price the part really is, you can show here on the bottom of the screen. This should be also visible here. So on the bottom of the screen, you have this footer bar, and you have the part number, and right next to it, the part name. And again, if you have an internet connection, it will also load the price of the part from Bricklink. And so for this one now, it tells us it's almost $15 US. So yeah, that explains why it had this minus sign there. That appears to be a very rare color for this part. So if you want to buy this, then yeah, you might have difficulties not only with the price, but even finding it because it's so rare.
Sure. Wow. That's great to know. That is great to know.
Yeah, so those are two tools you can use. But what if you have already built a full model, like for example here this church, and you are basically done with the design, and now you want to check, okay, maybe you've mistakenly chosen some rare parts in there, and yeah, you want to check the whole model for rare or expensive parts. So what you can do is in the upper menu, you have the model menu, and then you can select model info. And what this will give you is it will show you a complete part list for the model. And again, with an active internet connection, you will have the price for every part that you've used in the model. And you can also sort by price here. If we do this here, then we can see there's still some pretty expensive parts in there. Like for example, the tippy top of the tower here, this black, what's it called? Quadruple convex blocked open stud or hollow stud. This pyramid part basically.
Yep.
It's listed with $27 here. And one thing to note is the prices that are shown here are always for a new condition.
Okay.
So you might be able to reduce the price pretty significantly if you not only look for new pieces, but also consider buying used parts. So let's check it out. So we have now found out that this is the most expensive part of the whole model. So if we select this part, and again in the footer bar where you have the part number, you can click on it, and if you do, it will direct you to the Bricklink page for this part. And here you also can find the price information. So in the price guide tab here, you can click on the choose color, and we had it in black. So let's select the black one. And here you can already see during the last 6 months, this part in a new condition sold on average for about 11 euro, and the maximum price was 20 euro. So because I'm in Europe, it shows me here the euro prices.
Right, right.
I'm not sure whether you can configure Studio to show you one or the other currency. I haven't looked into that yet. So in Studio, I still have the US dollar prices, but dollars and euros is close enough that it's not a problem for me.
Sure, sure. Nana's in here saying she can't wait to show her grandson, and that's awesome. Can't wait. I can't wait for you to show it. But remember,
Awesome.
you're opening up Pandora's box in Bricklink.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
This is a dangerous and expensive avenue to go down.
Okay, but if you compare this now, this new price, like I said, on average it sold for 11.50 euro. If you compare this to the price for the same part in used condition, then the average price was only 6 euros. So it's only half as expensive if you also consider buying this part in a used condition. So what I usually do when I am sourcing or buying the bricks for a model I've designed, I usually try to look for new parts because I like my models to be shiny. But when I have some parts like this in there where I know they are rare and expensive, then for those I explicitly select that I also accept used parts for this one. You can do that in the Bricklink system. You can say which parts you only want in new condition or for which ones you don't care about the condition. And yeah, this should help to reduce the price for buying a model. And in this case, if you have one part like this that's that expensive, then it might be fine. But if we look back into Studio, and if we go back to our model info window, and it shows us also the total price for the whole model here. And you can see here that the total part count is only 2,260, but still the total price that is displayed here is over 600 US dollars. So it looks like there are still some more expensive parts in there. And you can see if we still sort by price here, we have this old Technic plate 1x4 with tooth ends. That's also a more expensive one. And we have a dish in chrome silver. So all of those parts here that are in the multiple dollar range, those would all be the ones that I will accept in used condition. And I haven't kept track because I usually buy the parts for more than one model at once. But if I had to guess, I would say I for certain I didn't pay the $600 that are shown here. I think it was more around half of that value. So if you select your Bricklink Bricklink sellers carefully and also spend some time playing around with conditions and stuff, then you can get down the price pretty significantly from what you see here.
Yeah, well, and that's when you have to end up playing the dancing game of going to multiple vendors.
Yeah, exactly.
Which we'll get into later. All right.
Cool. Okay, and one more thing I can show you. The second most expensive part here is a dark brown wedge plate 2x2. And I have used two of those here because, as you can see for this model, I wanted to have the main model in reddish brown, and then I have these accent colors in dark brown. And I wanted to have these lines underneath the roof always in dark brown, like you can see here in the front. Under the roof you have the dark brown, and on the edge of the tower you have it in dark brown. And so also here on the side I wanted to continue this, but I needed these parts here. That's what they look like.
Right.
So there was no other part that was fitting. I could also have worked with this part here. This one, but this one is not available in dark brown, and only this other one, only this one here is available in dark brown. I want to show you one other trick, because if we again take a look at this part, and this is something I've done quite frequently. On Bricklink, you can also see in how many sets a part in a certain color appears. maybe I can make this a bit bigger so you can see better.
Nana J, this is from the film or the series Dark on Netflix. It's based
Yeah,
off of that series.
you can already answer all the questions. You have all the know-how already, John.
We've been down this road before, man.
What I wanted to show here, I knew for my model I want to have this part in dark brown. So I can check this list here, and I have to move the camera. Oh no, I don't want to move the camera. I want to move the window size again. That makes it better. Make the window size like this again, and then in the future it will work out. Okay, and so here on the right side, you can check on Bricklink in how many sets this selected part appears in a certain color. And here we can see in dark brown, it has so far only appeared in one single set. And if we click on the color here, then it will also show us which set this is. And we will see it is this Brickheads, Ron Weasley and Albus Dumbledore set. Oh, wow. And this was a funny coincidence, because if we take a look at this set, if someone already knows my church and what the interior looks like, you may recognize some of the parts here from Dumbledore, because what I did, I saw that this set contains exactly 2 of those dark brown wedge plates, and that's the amount of parts I needed for it. And so I thought, okay, if I buy this set, I have the plates I need. And then I thought, okay, maybe I could use some other parts. And I really liked the prints for the Dumbledore brickheads. And what I did is I incorporated the printed tiles from Dumbledore's hat and robe and used it for the what's it called?
You used it's not atrium. What is it called? That little area.
Wait.
Was it in the upstairs?
You can tell me the word. Yeah. In the interior, if we hide the roof. So what you put on the floor.
I looked at it for a month.
The thing you put on the floor to have it warm. What's it called, John?
Altar? Is it an altar? No, rug.
A rug, yeah, that's the word. Thank you very much. I just couldn't think of the word. Yeah, so I used those printed pieces also for the rugs. And of course, those printed pieces also appear only in this one set. So they are also pretty rare. So I thought if I already buy this rare set, I can use multiple pieces of it. Right. And this is something I really do quite frequently. If there's a part, I know I want to have this part in this color, and it's a very rare part that only appears in 1 or 2 sets, then I check out those sets. Sometimes they are really tiny sets where you can buy the set in new condition for $3 or $4. Of course, that's not the case for a brickhead set. Those are a bit more expensive. But there are sets that are only $3, $4, $5, and they come with exactly that one part you need. And instead of buying one part for $4, you can buy the set for $5 and you get the part you want. So sometimes this can make sense.
That makes sense.
All right. Yeah, I think this was the basics about the availability and affordability. Just make sure to have the options selected to only see the parts in colors that are really available in real life. And then you know now how you can check the prices already during the design. Because otherwise, if you realize in the very end that you've designed a beautiful model, and even though the parts are all available in real life, some of the vital pieces are very expensive, then you can make a sad face and either bite the apple and buy the expensive pieces, or change the design when you're already happy with it. So it's better if you realize early on that you have selected some expensive pieces and can think about an alternative design.
Do you ever find yourself maybe, you say alternative design, do you ever say maybe thinking about even altering your color for availability? If you find yourself maybe just changing a hue or a shade different?
Sometimes I do, but mostly it's already because some parts are not even available in the color I initially wanted to go with. And then, for example, like you might go from bright green to a normal green. There's a very little difference there, or maybe even from bright green to the lime green. That's a bit bigger difference. But yeah, sometimes of course that can make sense. Then if I will. Which colors were those? Is it dark
No,
green,
I
normal
just have
green?
I have the calendar looking right at me. The cube calendar thing.
Yeah,
So
nice.
yeah, I got
Okay.
junk everywhere, people. I have looking at just crap everywhere. I got Grogu staring at me now over there.
Okay, should we move on to the next
Okay.
thing? Let's see. This
That
was
Austrian.
about availability, affordability. Yeah, one thing I want to show you is how you can handle different versions of the same part. This is also something I will just close this file for now and open
You're
a
right.
new one. Let's start from scratch here. One thing you might have noticed if you ever worked with Bricklink or just by working with Lego in general, there are some parts that come in multiple versions. And let's take a look at one such example. If we take a look at the plates modified, you can see this jumper plate 2x1. There's 3 different versions of it. And let's just go ahead and place them all side by side. Let me check whether everything is in the frame. Yeah, that looks good.
If people are
And you can
wondering,
see,
like, if I'm not looking at you, because I'm watching the live stream along as well, so that I can see, because I can see
yeah,
better. Because I have a bunch of crap on my end that I can't get rid of, so I can
yeah.
see it better when I look through.
Perfect.
So I'm working over here as well. Which, by the way, this is Matthias down here at MB Mox. He's walking us through studio. I'm John with Back to Brick. Thank you so much for being here with Don't Sweat the Lego Technique. Okay, continue. Bye-bye.
Stellar pronunciation, John.
Did I get it? Did I get it?
Oh, yeah. All right. So if we take a look at this now, from the top, all of those 3 pieces pretty much look exactly the same. If we flip them over to their underside, we can see there's 3 different versions. The first and the third one, again, look very similar, but the middle one we can see is different. And yeah, if you're not familiar with the digital design and then buying the pieces, you may just take any one of them because you think, yeah, they are all the same and it doesn't matter which one I choose. But let's compare the prices. So if we select the first one, it tells us, okay, I think I have to make the window a bit larger again to see the price. It tells us this one is $0.35. The middle one is 7 cents, and the third one is 49 cents.
So wait, what was the first one? Did you say 30? Was it 35 cents?
35,
Okay,
7,
cents.
and 49 cents. All cents, yeah. So
Oh,
those
yeah,
are
because
all cent
I thought you
values.
said at first dollar, and I was like,
No,
wow,
no,
that
not
is an
dollars, but
expensive
cents.
jumper.
But it's all in the cent area. So you might not even notice if you just look for very expensive pieces. But in the end, this is still a very significant difference because 7 or 35 cents, that's still a factor 5 difference.
Yeah.
And the reason for this is that over time, Lego changes sometimes the mold for a certain part. And the middle one is the newest one that is currently still available. And you probably can also buy the middle one directly from Lego's Bricks and Pieces service. But the first and the third one are the older versions that are not available in sets anymore and that you can probably not buy directly from Lego anymore. So those older versions also get more expensive over time, of course. And so what you can do if once you are aware of this problem, there's usually not any reason at all to use those older versions. So if we flip them around again, the ones with these I don't know what to call it, little bar thing
The tubes?
underneath the tube. Yeah, exactly. Those are the older versions. And the one with the stud holder on the underside, that's the newest version. And there's normally really no reason to keep using the old versions of those parts. So if you want to avoid using those, there's a neat little trick that you can apply in Studio. And what I like to do is I have remembered now that the middle one is the one I want to use, and the first and the last one are the ones that I usually don't want to use. So if I right-click on the parts in the part inventory, there is an option that says hide. And if I click on this hide option, you will see that it vanishes from the part inventory. Now there's only 2 left. And if I also hide the third one, then there is only 1 left. So now, whenever I want to use this 1x2 jumper plate, I only have 1 in the inventory. I take it out, I place it, I flip it around, and it's exactly the one I want to use. And this, of course, makes my life easier now when I'm designing a model. I don't always have to think, okay, which one is the cheapest one, which one is the most recent version. I just have 1 in there anymore, and it's the one I always use. I actually never want to use the other 2 versions. I will show you in a moment where you can find the parts that you have hidden this way. If for some reason you accidentally hide something and want to restore it later, this is of course also possible. We will take a look at that in a moment. But first I want to talk about one other thing about different part versions that doesn't have as much to do with different versions of the same part, but with how parts are available in the Bricklink or in the Studio inventory. And as an example, I want to take a look at a hinge part. So I will filter for a hinge, and I want to take a look at these hinge plates. So I will place this here, and this is a part that probably most of you know. It's this plate that can swivel in the middle, right?
Lovely.
And so either you can place this as one combined part, so you have this whole hinge piece as one part. But if you take a look at the inventory, there's also a version where you have these 2 halves as separate parts. So like this. And what happened to me in the beginning, I also didn't know whether there was any difference or not, and I usually used those separate parts because they were a bit easier to handle. They snap together in the middle just fine, and you can also swivel them around just fine. So when you are just working in Studio, it makes absolutely no difference which one you use. But once it comes to buying the parts, again, it makes a difference.
Sure it does.
If we take a look at the prices again, the combined version, what does it show me? I have to extend the window again a bit. The combined version shows me a price of about $0.25. And the second, or the separate versions, the left half is already at 62 cents, and the right half is at 63 cents. So if we use this separate version, we pay 60 cents times 2, so $1.20 for this. And if we use the combined one, then it's 25 cents. So that's again a difference of a factor 5.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big difference.
And not only that, but I think in official Lego sets, they usually come as this combined version. I'm not 100% sure now about this, but I think it does. And what this means is that since when Bricklink differentiates between new parts and used parts, how Bricklink defines whether a part is new or used, it usually means that if a part is new, it may never have been built with. So it may never have been assembled or disassembled. As soon as you place one brick on top of another and take it off again, it's technically not new anymore. And what this means is as soon as you disassemble these two, they are technically not new anymore.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I would suggest whenever you have these parts that come in combined and separate versions, I highly recommend using those combined ones for buying the pieces on Bricklink, or maybe also from Lego directly, because the separate ones are almost always more expensive or harder to find.
Right. And I've also noticed from my experience that it's kind of hit or miss with new or used also.
Mm-hmm.
So, and those maybe, if you get them used, it's really a fragile piece. So
yeah, maybe one more example where this also comes into account is if we search for antenna pieces. You have these levers. You probably also know these.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Again, it's the same thing. They come in these combined versions and in those separate versions. And I'm pretty sure the price is again different. If we take a look at the combined version, it's 82 cents. And the separate version is 11 and yeah, and $2.30 for just the antenna part.
Whoa, no kidding.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's usually always correct to use the combined version of those
Sure,
parts.
sure. And it's wow, those are 82 cents.
Yeah,
That
apparently in
seems
the gray
really
version.
expensive for those.
I think it depends on the color of the lever you want because the black version is definitely much cheaper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Which
it's
one did you have
it's
there? What
three
color did you have
three
there?
cents for the 3 cents for the black lever
Okay.
and 82 cents for the gray lever.
Okay, that okay. I was gonna say
And
I'm like,
and the most expensive I think is the white lever, which is a very rare thing. I used 5 of those in a build that we're gonna look at later, and that's even more expensive.
I feel like I just had one of those. Um, yeah, I was gonna say those no way. Those are 80 cents because I have a case full of them just sitting
Yeah.
right next to me, going, "What am I gonna do with all these?" So, anyway, sorry.
All right, no problem. Let's close this one up again and let's continue on to the next topic. We already took a look at hiding parts. So now, yeah, let's take a look at, I told you I want to show you how you can get back the parts you've hidden before again.
Right.
And to do this, you have here on the left side in the parts inventory at the very top, you have a drop-down select. And if you click on this, there's a few different options. The first one is master. So this is your default inventory where you are usually looking for all your parts. Then the second category is hidden parts. So if I click on that one, then you can see these are the parts I have already hidden. Currently, there's those 2 jumper plates in there that we've hidden before. And I haven't hidden that many yet, but I think I'll definitely use this more in the future going forward because it makes really sense. And the same for clip pieces and all kinds of pieces where you have different molds. I like to hide them. But if you want, you could right click them here and you can say restore, and then they will reappear in the master inventory and won't be in the hidden parts inventory anymore.
Right on.
Okay,
Huh.
and
These are just, I love these little nuances that I'm not familiar with.
and there's also some other inventories that are yeah, sometimes can come in handy. For example, there is a new parts inventory, and you can use this one to browse for any parts that have very recently been added to Studio. So either files that yeah, are new in general or just haven't been available in Studio before and have recently been added. You will find those here in this new parts inventory.
And then it'll tell you its availability and whether it's in Bricklink or
Yeah,
not. Yeah.
exactly. Okay, and there's also a custom parts inventory. This is something we are also going to take a look at in a minute. And there's also the option to define palettes. So you could define your own parts palettes. That's something I've never done before. But if you, for example, if you have your own
Hey, Jacob.
physical collection, if you have your physical collection categorized somewhere, either in a Bricklink list or somewhere, you could define this as your own parts palette in Studio, and then yeah, basically you could switch to this palette, and it will only give you the parts that you actually own in real life. So if you have this or if you want this, you can do it. Of course, it would be a lot of work cataloging your collection, but maybe some people have a catalog of their physical collection already, and maybe it can also be imported somewhere. If you click on Add Palette here, what can you do? You cannot import it here, but maybe in the config, choose a way to add a new palette. You can import an official Lego set. You can import a wanted list without and with quantity. Yeah. So if you have your collection cataloged in a wanted list on Bricklink, or if you want to use a Lego set parts list, then you can import it here, and then it will only, yeah, this of course, this will be useful if you want to recreate an official Lego set. You can import the parts list of the Lego set, and then you won't have any other things in the list.
Now, and you can just import that directly from where? Like from
Let's try it out. I've never done it. If we say we want to
Okay.
import an official
Because like,
Lego set,
do you go from your
right?
instruct?
You can just enter the set number and say import.
So it just has the catalog in there automatically.
Probably. I
I think
think so.
because they're owned by Lego, so that makes sense.
Yeah, that could be the case, yeah. Okay, so that's something I've never used before, but maybe for some people this might be a nice feature. Yeah, I think that was everything I can tell about those different kinds of inventories and the palettes. Ah, there's one more. There's one predefined palette. That's an interesting thing actually. The ADP palette. Does anyone have a guess what ADP palette, what this ADP stands for? ADP palette. You have an idea, John, what this could be?
I'm thinking about. Of course, you put me on the spot, man. I'm so bad at school.
Yeah, the chat can guess as well.
Well, I'm thinking there's a digital is one of the words.
No?
Ah!
The first word is
hello,
AFOL.
Boxbricks. What's that?
The first word is AFOL.
Oh, okay. AFOL
Designer.
designer program.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the list of parts that Lego officially allowed designers to use in the Lego Designer Program, AFOL Designer Program. So they were not able to use every kind of brick there ever was in history. They only had a certain inventory of parts available, and if you want to use the same one, you can select it here.
Excellent.
Okay.
Hello,
Now,
Boxbricks. Very well, thank you.
hello everyone.
Boxbricks,
I
awesome. By the way, if you're not following Boxbricks and watching what they do, do I say he? I said they? I don't know. You, with the stop motion, it's unreal. Please follow. It's so awesome. I'm so envious of you. By the way, we're talking to Matthias, MB Mox, the winner of Tiny Master Season 1. Yeah, let's not forget that. You don't talk about that enough. Are you doing Tiny Master Season 2, by the way?
I don't think so. I've got so much I want to do from my personal projects for this year that I don't think I want to spend all this time again for the contest.
Well, then I guess we'll be seeing you at the Brick Bazaar at least, then, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Jada. Appreciate it. So yes, Boxbricks, of course. It's brilliant work what you do. Yes, make sure you're giving Matthias a follow. He did win Tiny Master Season 2, or Season 1. We're on Season 2 right now. And he is walking us through Studio right now. He is doing a fantastic job of walking. It's amazing how easy it is for you, and how expensive, Nana, it can get here. Watching how easy it is to be able to drop all of these elements that you're talking about straight into a Bricklink shopping cart and be just buzzing away into the debit card or credit card.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
easy.
thank you,
But
John.
thank you, Matthias.
Okay, I promised I want to show you what this custom parts palette is all about. And for this, I want to take a look at one of my Dragon Ball models, this one right here. So I recreated the muscle tower from Dragon Ball here, and it's a base of the Red Ribbon Army, so it's very heavily guarded with a lot of guns to all sides. And I was thinking in this scale what I could use to represent those guns that are sticking out of the tower everywhere. And what I decided I want to use is, let's switch back to the master palette here. And what I decided I want to use is those flex tubes, or I think they're called hose in the program here. Hose rigid. So these ones here, they come in different colors. So you probably know these kind of parts. They are flexible hoses or flexible tubes. And I decided I want to use those to create those gun barrels. The only problem, the smallest size this part comes in is 3 studs long. and I wanted to have these in a length of 1.5 stud.
Uh-oh.
So the good thing is, it's a legal Lego technique to cut this part because Lego has done it in one of their official sets as well.
What set do they do it in?
I forgot, but I googled it
Oh,
because
see,
I was wondering.
you don't have the facts to back it up. You're just making stuff up here.
I will
Everyone.
I will link it in the footnotes of my presentation that I'm gonna send you later. But yeah, so they are easily cuttable with a good knife. The
Is it?
only problem,
Hold
yeah,
on.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
it this? No, it's more rigid than this. It's way more rigid than this tubing, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
It's
It's that
the
really
rigid one, yeah.
rigid stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And so in real life, it's very easy to cut them with a good knife. The only problem is in studio, of course, you cannot just go ahead and cut a part in half. How are you going to do it? And this is where the part designer can come in handy. So I will give you a very little tour into the parts designer. We will start just with a new thing here. And I have to make sure again that everything is in the frame.
Did you see the package I just got from Billy in terms of you talk about what you should use to cut it? He gave me a customization package, a starter kit.
Oh, really? Like, with a
Oh,
good knife in it.
dude, I'll show you.
Oh,
I'll show you guys at the end.
so many goodies.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
All right, and what you can do here, you can say start from scratch, and then you can say import an existing part. There's two things you can do. Either you can really create your own new parts, or you can start from an existing part and modify it in whichever way you want. What I did here, I chose to import the studio part. I will again select these rigid hoses here. Hose ripped is not the one we want. Hose rigid, this should be the one. 3 mm insert. So here we have it. This is the 3 stud long or 2.4 centimeters.
Right.
And now in the parts designer, what you can do, you can just take it, put it on the ground, and then you have this eraser tool on the left side here. And then you can really just go ahead and say, okay, I cut it away from here. And then what you're left with is 1.5 studs length. You can go ahead, put it back into its original position.
Did you feel like a
And
rebel when you first did it?
like a what?
Did you feel like a rebel when you first did it?
What's a rebel, John?
Like a bad boy?
I always feel like a bad boy. Just joking.
Awesome. You are the bad boy. You're the Lego boy. Right on.
Okay, and when you're happy with it, it's very easy to export it back to Studio. You have the button here on the upper right corner that just says Export to Studio, and you can click here, enter a name. If you want, you can also enter an item number. I'm not sure, maybe this helps if you're later going to upload it again to Bricklink to buy the part, because of course it won't recognize those custom parts. Maybe if you enter an item number, it will recognize it as that item again. I haven't done that. I've just entered the part name and nothing else, exported it over to Studio, and then I can show you where you can find it. And again, we can switch here in this drop down between the different inventories. And if we go to custom parts here, then this is where you can see I have one in 1.5 studs, one in 2 studs, and one in 2.5 studs or something like that. Or what do I have here? No, 1 stud and 2.5 here, yeah. But this is how you can cut parts, and you can even do some more advanced things in the part designer, but I think that would be enough for its own tutorial episode. I just wanted to give you a short detour and show you can also do some modifications there, import it back into Studio in case you're doing things like cutting parts in half, which is not possible in Studio itself.
Beautiful. I love it.
Maybe one thing to mention, what you can also do in the parts designer, you can also create your own decorations. If you want to, for example, create custom stickers for your models, Then you
Oh,
can also put those on the parts in the part designer, then import it back into Studio, and yeah, then you can have those stickers or those decorations on your digital model as well.
sure. Very cool.
All right. Yeah, this was the custom parts. And the next thing I want to talk about, if we are designing a digital model and we want to build it in real life, of course, stability and connectivity is an issue or a topic you want to keep in mind. And for this, let's switch to another model again. This one right here. You might have seen this one already on
Oh
my
yeah.
page if you're following me. This is again from Dragon Ball. It's called Pilaf's Castle. And one thing to mention here is I'm using a technique here for those staircase architecture design where I'm just stacking panel pieces. If you take a look here, it's this kind of panel pieces. So those are not actually connected together, but they're just stacked on top of each other and then held together from the top, so it doesn't fall, uh, fall, fall from each other again.
Okay.
So, um, and one thing, if you want to make sure in Studio or you want to check whether all parts of your model design are actually connected together and how stable everything appears to be, you can use a tool that Studio provides. It's called Stability. It's in the top bar here. Can you see it? Here
Yep.
is the Stability tool. And if I click on this,
I mean, I don't want to speak for the whole class, but I'm the only one that can really chat right back to you. So yeah.
if I click on this, then it gives me this window here where I can switch between stability and connectivity. And it also colors my model in different colors and shows me warnings, cautions, and issues. So here you can see everything that's white basically means it's fine. And the red parts are the ones where it's giving me a warning and telling me that it might not have enough clutch power or the clutch power might be on the lower end.
Right.
So yeah, those are the parts where you might wanna
That's awesome.
maybe then go ahead and try it out in real life, do some prototyping with real bricks to make sure whether it works. And let me do something.
It's pretty
try to
amazing,
get
huh,
in the
Nana?
frame.
Jeez. Oh,
Here is the physical model.
nice little
And
sneak up there.
and let me show you that it actually holds together. I just don't want to drop it.
Is there a wobble?
No, but it doesn't fall even if I turn it on its head. I just shouldn't let it go now.
Oh wow. Okay. Look, Jacob's asking where that's located. It's if you can see where my finger is, like right there-ish.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
right.
exactly. On the
Bam!
upper side there.
See, I'm paying attention. Where you guys at? And Nana, yeah, that is pretty amazing stuff. And this actually it's funny because it goes back to even your other one that does have the wobble.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So, so
That Rowan is now ruined for me now. Every time I see it, I just think wobble.
But what I just want to point out is if you're using this, of course it's not 100%. Just because something is showing as a warning doesn't mean that it won't hold together in real life. It might be totally fine, but it's just a tool to take a look at. And when you have those warnings, it might be a good idea to do some prototyping before ordering all the parts for the whole model, just to make sure this one connection, this one place actually is tough enough to hold together. And you will figure it out once you put the bricks together and it doesn't hold. Yeah, then you can think about a different solution.
Jacob just said, "Damn, my whole model's red."
Yeah, those models, I know. I have some of those as well, I think. And the other option here, so not only is there the option to check for stability, you can also check for connectivity. And what you will see now, it will say there's 16 detached sections. And that's what I showed you before. It's those panel pieces that are just stacked on top of each other. So now it will show you exactly what I've told you before. These pieces are not actually connected. They are just held together from the top. So at the bottom, they are stacked into the connected panel piece, and from the top there is a plate piece holding everything in place, so nothing will be able to fall off or fall out. Everything will hold together in the physical model, but you can see those are actually just sitting on top of each other and not really connected. But this tool is of course also very helpful, because sometimes when you are designing a more complex model, you might have really some sections that are not actually connected, and you can use this to figure out whether all parts of your model are actually connected together, or maybe you've missed to connect two things somewhere and they might fall off when you try to build them in real life. And this can be used to verify that upfront.
Right, and then sometimes you even end up ordering, and it doesn't necessarily work out in real life either.
Exactly. That's the perfect the perfect way to go into the next topic, John. Thank you for that. Because
I'm all about segues here.
I've got one last thing prepared for today, and we can go as far or as long as you have time, John. I have just some examples now from my past building experience, from models I've designed on the computer. And of course, I didn't always do all the things that I told you today. I'm also learning. And very often it was the case that I would go ahead and order all the parts for a model. And then of course, in the end, I would find that something I put together on the computer doesn't actually work in real life. So I have some examples prepared that I can show you. I can make you guess what you think the problem might be. And then I can show you why it doesn't work. I also have it in the physical bricks to show you the problems we will have then in real life when we try it with the real bricks, why it wouldn't work. And then I can show you the alternative solutions that I came up with because the initial design didn't work out.
I like it. By the way, hello everyone. Welcome to Don't Sweat the Lego Technique. Thank you so much for joining. I am John with Back to Brick, aka Blockhead23. So you might see me commenting down here just so I can chat back and forth, so I don't interrupt with Matthias.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you. I'm so self-conscious of that now. Like, we've interacted, I don't know how long, and this is the first time. I'm so self-conscious now. But he's walking us through Studio, and very, very concisely, might I say. Jacob's now realizing that he has to redesign his entire thing, make purchases or what have you. But this is Matthias down here. He showed his face earlier. Now he's got his camera all set up for his software, and give him a follow, MB Mox. He's a phenomenal designer. That's one of his designs right down there. He did after Dragon Ball, I believe. Continue.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so I have prepared this example. This was my initial design for the Kami house from Dragon Ball, and I will give you one hint where the problem with this design lies. It's within the house itself. So if we zoom into the house here, does anyone have an idea what the problem here might be? And I will give you one more hint. I will remove this roof section here, and now everyone can take a guess what the problem is with this model and why it will be problematic in real life. John, you have to tell me if someone takes a guess.
Well, Jacob says the doorway.
No, not the doorway.
I'm thinking, is it the headlight brick up top?
Oh, yeah. 100 points for you, John. And now I will have to see whether I can show this on my tiny phone screen here. Maybe if I turn off the screen, it will be better.
Nailed it. First try. Don't even know what's wrong with it. It just looked wrong.
I think the lighting is really bad here.
Uh-oh. What happened?
You can't see anything here, right? I can turn on the other one again, but I'm not sure it makes it any better. This is still too dark, probably.
Oh yeah, because it has that lip. That's why.
Yeah. So the headlight brick in Studio actually fits next or in front of the other brick, but if you do it like this in real life, you won't be able to connect them from the top, and you will have this gap between them. So this won't work. Let's turn the screen back on. And so I have this problem for this window up here. So this will create a very ugly gap for the roof here.
Right.
And I have it again down here for this window, where again I have the headlight brick. And so there will also be a very ugly gap just inside the house here, and it will put everything under stress. So even though this is a very tiny difference, it's tiny enough that even if we have the collision detection enabled in Studio, it won't show us any warning. So Studio will say everything is fine, because it really is a very tiny tolerance issue, but it's big enough that this design didn't work. So I went ahead and redesigned it. And
what did you do to redesign it? Oh, you're going to probably
yeah, I will show you. I will show you.
Here we go. And Rick's,
So
of course,
it was a very easy fix.
One by
A
one
very easy fix in this case. I just turned around the headlight bricks and put a transparent 1x1 tile for the window glass. And so this was an easy fix in this case. So instead of showing the open backside for the window, we just have a 1x1 tile for the window now.
Oh, so you just turned it around, the headlight?
I just turned it around and put a plate on, tile on it.
And
Yeah.
Rick was okay. Never mind. Rick, never mind. He took it back. Heard Rick.
Okay.
By the way, I do have about I'd say about 5-6 more minutes or so. Sorry, not to rush Matthias today, but I did.
You just let me know.
Get in contact with him beforehand and let him know that I have. I got another show coming up here at 3:30, and I wanted to get everything done. That's why I started a little early. So.
Okay.
Anyways,
then I will go ahead and maybe continue with an interesting example that really gave me quite a bit of headaches, not only once but multiple times. Here we have our Temple of Time, and then if you want, we can call it the day after that, John. I want to take a look at the
this,
the
by
roof
the way,
design.
he has a tutorial for on his page on MB Mox.
Exactly.
Go to his page, check it out. He has a tutorial to build that dome, and it's awesome. Well, actually, more than just the dome, but.
And what you cannot see in my tutorial post is the version for which I have made the tutorial is actually the third iteration of this roof design, because both the first and the second version didn't work in real life. And that's what I want to show you now. So let's take a closer look at just the dome here. This is what it looks like. And I want to expose some of the inner workings here, and then everyone can take a guess again. It's in this part up here. So somewhere here is an issue that doesn't work in real life. Does anyone have a guess? I could also remove.
Hold on, I gotta look at it. I gotta look at my phone.
So somewhere here is the issue.
Why can't I see it?
Because
is it
it's
something
really,
with
really
the hinge?
tricky. No.
I can't see it. No one's. Anyone see anything? Come on now, speak up. I'm waving at people just so that they can't get it before me. I'm trying to zoom in. I can't figure it out. What is it?
Yeah, I will give you the solution. So in Studio, let's take one closer look at this submodel here. So the roof is designed of 8 of those sections or similar sections like this one, and then they were clipped together at the center with these clip pieces. And if you take a look here, Studio just lets you insert the clip piece right into this modified plate piece.
Mm-hmm.
No issue at all. No warning, no issue. It even connects like it suggests that this works out just fine.
Right.
But if we take a closer look here and take a look at how this pin here looks at the underside, you can see it's not a full circle, but it has these cutoffs here. And the pin or the bar won't fit in.
Yeah.
You won't be able to put a bar into this pin.
I would have never guessed that.
And this is something that I had on so many occasions, because all the pins that Lego produces act differently here. I have two examples here again. I have, this is the one we saw in the video.
Right.
Yeah, the focus is a problem here. I think I have to disable the screen again. And then this one has exactly the same problem. It's a brick with a pin in it, so it's the same thing.
Oh,
And
sure.
I can show you here. It just doesn't go in. So if you try to insert the bar here, it just won't go in. Yeah, it doesn't work.
What an absolute pain.
And the other thing is what Studio also lets you do. If you take these normal Technic pins here, the black friction pins, the usual ones, and in Studio, if you insert a bar into it, then of course it won't tell you whether it has any friction or not. So if it has clutch power or not.
Yeah.
And again, I can show you. If you take a bar like this is the 3-long bar.
Yep.
Here's the focus. And if you put it in far enough, like this, then it will have enough clutch power to hold on. So maybe like this.
Right.
Yeah, the focus is a problem. I don't know how to fix it. But
we were able to see it a little bit earlier, yeah.
If you put it in far enough, then it will have enough clutch power to stay in there. But if you have a piece like this one, so this is a barb or a horn or a claw or whatever, and it just has a very short bar at the end. And if you try to put this in there, then this will not go in far enough to have any clutch power, so it will just fall off again.
Right.
So if you try to design something where you want these to actually stay in place like this, it won't work.
Right.
And yeah, every pin that Lego produces has different qualities in those regards. So I highly recommend, if you try to connect bars and pins, do some prototyping. Always, whenever you're unsure about your connections and your connects, do some prototyping to make sure the techniques actually really work and the connections actually are strong enough, or even work at all. Like you can see here, this connection you see on screen here doesn't even work at all.
Right.
So yeah, and sometimes you also have no chance to realize, because Bricklink just doesn't give you any hint that there's a problem here.
It just allows you to do it.
Yeah, and you will only realize it once you try to put it together in real life.
That's the old what, measure once or cut twice, measure once or whatever. Go to Home Depot 18 times, figure out that it's still a problem.
Exactly.
Same deal with Lego.
Yeah, I would have some more examples, but I know we've already spent enough time, I think, today.
No, that's great. I appreciate it. Yeah, and I'm sorry if I'm rushing you out the door, but
no problem.
We'll pick it back up again. It's been a good tip, nice one, Matthias. I've run into this issue in real life before. Yeah, I have as well, and that's actually one of the reasons why I'd like to definitely revisit it a little bit more, because I know more people have run into that issue. So we can pick up more of that next week here on Don't Sweat the Lego Technique with Matthias. Are you there? Can we see your lovely mug first? There you
I just thought of it myself.
Look, those are his builds over there. See those? Those are his builds right behind. Yep. He has them in real life, all the stuff that he's showing us. So, but thank you so much, sir. I really, really, really appreciate it. Once again, Jacob is learning again. He's very happy.
Yeah, I'm happy if I can bring anything of value to someone watching.
Oh, you most certainly are. And if you do have some questions for Matthias going forward, please either put them in. I'm going to be reposting this here real soon. Thank you, Richard. I'm going to be reposting this here soon. Hi, Eric. What's up? Going to be chatting with him on Talking Brick in a couple weeks, or maybe next week. But yes, we're going to go over more of this heading forward on next week's episode. That's Thursday, once again, at 2 p.m. I'm going to repost it. Don't worry about it there, Eric. It's a great session. We learned a lot. Jacob learned a lot. He's in the red. We know he's in the red. That's all we know. I'll leave you with that. But Matthias, do you have any parting shots of wisdom that you'd like to leave us with before we part ways till next episode?
Just if anyone has any questions at all, you can also message me directly if you want. And yeah, if you're interested in the other examples, maybe I'll put them together sometime. Next
Yes,
week we already
please.
have some big plans for the next topics.
Well, hopefully next week I won't be as rushed. I apologize. I had to It's my fault, everyone. I had to
I
reschedule. So
I have to apologize for always bringing too much content for the
no,
1 hour.
no, don't ever apologize for that. That's awesome. No, that's what we want. No, my wife, her plane came in, and I had a talking brick scheduled with Caleb, and it was all just kind of going together. So I'm going to thank you very much, Rick. There was just so many things all happening at once. I had to reschedule with Caleb. It was a little bit earlier, so we're going right after this basically. So I don't mean to rush you. We'll get it all in, sir. We will get it all in.
Perfect.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. I'll see you soon.
Thank you too, John, and have a nice evening or have a
All right.
great day.
You too. Be well.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. All right, everybody. Thank you so much yet again for tuning into Don't Sweat the Lego Technique here on Back to Brick. I am John, a.k.a. Blockhead23. Here I can, people will say I say it too quickly. That's me right there posting. That's me. That's me. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Once again, that was Matthias, MB Mox. Make sure to give him a follow. He is a brilliant designer. He does some great work. It's awesome to be able, you go through his page, you can see the progression from, designing via studio and then building in real life. It's really cool. It's very cool. So, hey, thank you so much. So yes, that is another episode of Don't Sweat the Lego Technique. That is what, episode 12. I mean, I know that we had to skip a couple, but we're going to make up for one tomorrow. We've got tomorrow, 4 a.m. with Fleur Watkins down in Australia, 4 a.m. my time, 7 a.m. Pacific time. And then we're doing a 2-4 later on, 4 p.m. We're making up for Tuesday's episode that I had to reschedule. My fault on Tuesday. We just got crazy here at the end. We're going to be going with Billy. Check this out. Billy sent me a care package. It's full of customizing goodness. Can you see all of this? There's all of these. I got like a whole packet of guns and such. And then look at this. Check this out. All of this paint, man, brushes and stuff. He sent me this whole package. We're gonna customize. So it'll be my first attempt ever at customizing Lego. Billy sent me this amazing package. I'm so stoked, so honored. I'm really, really looking forward to giving it a go. I'm nervous, but I'm gonna do it. I'm really stoked. So yeah, that one's at 4 p.m. Tomorrow. We're making up for Tuesday, so 7 p.m. And then, of course, tomorrow morning, 4 a.m., we're doing Fleur Watkins. We're going to go through some more detail work. It's going to be amazing. She put up an awesome post, and I reposted it today about the detail work that we're going to go through. So make sure to check that out. It's going to be real fun. And then here in about 20 minutes, I'm going to be chatting with Caleb of Cheesy Studios on Talking Brick. We're going to be talking about his stint on Lego Masters. We're going to be talking about he's half of Castle Bro now, and we're going to talk about what he's been doing since Lego Masters ended. Why he was without bricks for like 8 months and he didn't touch a brick, and then what he's doing now that he has a bunch of bricks. So I will see you in about 20 minutes here. I got to go get some more coffee. And then, yeah, we're going to go talk some more brick. Okay, until tomorrow morning, 4 a.m. with Fleur Watkins. Be sure to be following her. Until then, you just don't sweat the Lego Technique. Okay, bye-bye.